Hello everyone, it is well past midnight on a rainy night, and we have a pair of horror-themed tales to read tonight, penned by the Polite Snob, with a link to the original postings below. As always, I will narrate them from my dreary apartment high above the cobblestones. The first story this evening is A Kind World. 50 years ago, the elevator was discovered deep in the coal mine of a company long since dead. Could have been pulled out of any office building in the world, but it only had one button: down. We lost contact with every team or device we sent down after 60 minutes, though the elevator always returned 24 hours later, empty, clean, no scuff marks from boots or shoes, nor even the writing on the walls the teams reported making. Attempts to disassemble the elevator failed. Attempts to dig below it only yielded a smooth metal tube going further than we could dig. After 1 month of testing, the elevator went down all on its own. 72 hours later, returned with a sign: "It is coming for you. Your salvation lies below. A kind world awaits." At first, this was dismissed as a novelty, a prank, some sort of marketing attempt for the company that owned the mine. Then the disaster started. Not anything caused by the elevator or some external threat, but nature itself, unseasonal hurricanes, tsunamis, plague, record-setting heat year after year. People started joking that they'd be better off going down the elevator. Then came Charles Niku. At the time, no one knew who he was, though now you could probably go into the ruins of any gas station and find a copy of his biography. He walked to the mine's head office and demanded salvation. He offered to pay them thousands of dollars. When they relented and agreed, the government agency researching the elevator got involved. And so on. Bureaucracies that are now all meaningless wanted their say. Over a year of red tape later, he went down the elevator, came back up 24 hours later with a new, smaller placard. One saved. Thus, the first domino fell. Soon there were hundreds picketing outside the mine. Cults started worshipping the elevator. Aging pop groups attempted to regain relevancy by doing a final elevator tour. Investors started companies offering farewell vacation plans that ended with a trip down the elevator. Investigators and amateur scientists clamored to try to live stream their last moments down the elevator. Young married couples did honeymoons down it, and so on. As demand increased, elevators were discovered in every major city to answer humanity's need. Idols of stone and metal that popped up overnight, each bearing the same signs. After a decade, the number saved by elevators each day outstripped our daily population growth. Now the 7 of us are all that's left. Over 10 billion have been saved. A few scattered pockets still refuse the elevator, but in 24 hours we will press the button one last time. That will be trip number 10,942, and elevator number 1. The human race is safe. and there is little to say about the dying world they departed. If you are hearing this, we urge you to join us. Don't bother with this world. Your efforts won't be appreciated, but the next one must be kinder. That story will be continuing in further postings. The second story tonight is I live in a safe neighborhood. Nothing ever happens here. Standing in the kitchen alone, I feel proud. This is my house, just mine. I saved up my entire life, scrimped every penny, worked every summer, avoided student loans like the plague. I specifically applied to colleges that were near towns with affordable housing, so I wouldn't have to worry about moving expenses. Now I'm under 30 and I own my home. This is a safe neighborhood too. When old Mr. Jameson down the street woke up and found his front door open, it nearly made the local news. Nothing was stolen, of course. He's just a forgetful old man. I'm the youngest here by far, and my elderly neighbors are always coming to me to talk about this or that. Yesterday, Mrs. Harrison wanted to warn me about someone who had been hiding out in the woods watching her all night. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I could see the cheap Halloween decoration someone had propped up behind her house from my backyard. I know she loves the gossip more than the truth. I'm the only single person in the neighborhood. I don't feel alone with neighbors like these. With a sigh, I return to washing the dishes. The one chore I loathe above all the others. That'd be one benefit of living with someone, being able to split the chores. The other would be the noise. It's a silly thing to complain about, but it can get too quiet out here. A deafening silence where all you can hear is the blood pounding in your ears. I've tried white noise machines, but it doesn't help with the creaks. I know they're just old house noises. It wasn't like I could afford a nice new mansion after all. Sometimes it almost sounds like it's coming from outside and knocking on the outside wall. There's no big animals in these woods, so it could only be the pipes. Just old pipes and bad plumbing. If I had a roommate, it'd be a lot easier to dismiss these bumps in the night. Either way, I shouldn't be scared. Nothing ever happens here. It's late, and with the house lights shining, I can't even enjoy looking out at the backyard I spent every weekend maintaining. My house sits next to the forest, so I made sure my yard fit in naturally with the surrounding woods. It's more comforting to look at than the pale reflection of my face, full of thick hedges to hide in. I load the last mug, a custom-made one that I bought for my birthday last year, close the dishwasher, and start it up. Leaving the kitchen, I turn off the lights and glance back, hoping to catch a glimpse of a pale, quiet night. As the darkness deepens, my eyes slowly adjust and I can finally see out the window. A smiling face greets me. A knife glints in the moonlight, and I scream for help in an empty house. Quite. That story has no planned continuation. Well, I hope you enjoyed the narration. More may be forthcoming. Regardless, the stories will continue.